In May of 2022, Matt Malero and Dave Willis announced a new Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, finally bringing the series to a sense of revival after being cancelled in 2015. However, unlike 2007's Aqua Teen Hunger Force : movie film for theatres, Aqua Teen Forever Plantasm offers fans a slightly alternative experience, not only focusing on a more coherent storyline as opposed to the tangent-motivated nature of its predecessor, but also showcasing a new, refreshing amendment of animation. Still retaining the same original art style as the series, yet simultaneously providing a breath of fresh air in scenes such as the opening, which sees a smoothly animated fight sequence, completely standing out from the usual slow, casual and minimalistic pace of the show. The animation was managed by Bento Box Productions, who also happened to serve 2022's The Bob's Burgers movie, which explains the fluid exuberance seen in Plantasm's action sequences. As well as the revitalizing approach to animation, the cast performance along with the story itself also remain admirable. Despite his arguably less important role in the series, Frylock, voiced by Carey Means, is consolidated as the main protagonist, with Master Shake's narcissism and Meatward's obliviousness finally driving him away from his usual life, and thus enabling interesting experiential development. Carey Means, as always, plays Frylock's intelligent and rational character very well, and likewise, Dana Snyder puts his heart and soul into being the egotistical, delusional and obnoxious character of Master Shake, and Dave Willis naturally nails Meatward's lovable stupidity. At the same time, the new voice cast also bring life to the movie. Peter Serafinowicz successfully portrays the ignorant, self-absorbed character of Neil, the initial sole antagonist of the movie, and while personally the character didn't come across as memorable, his voice remained believable throughout the film. On the other hand, the eventual main villain, Elmer, Neil's assistant voiced by Paul Walter Hauser, was arguably a much more suited villain within the ATHF universe. His zany, comical voice served as a reminder to past villains of the show such as the Plutonians. While most Aqua Teen Hunger Force episodes see the plot quickly devolve into madness and meaninglessness, Plantasm manages to follow the same story throughout, balancing between Frylock's perspective and that of Master Shake, Meatward and Carl, with both sides gradually coming together into one for the grand spectacle of an ending. The misleading opening, an awe-inspiring action scene which sees Master Shake's false point of view in which he saves Frylock and Meatward from mutant creatures of Carl, quickly transitions into the reality of the plot, which sees Master Shake homeless, Meatward living in an animal shelter, and Frylock living in a worn-out apartment. Under a different name, Phoenix, Frylock turns to Amazon, an evil corporate company who, as later revealed, forced two entire alien races, the Fraptaculans and the Chipangaloids, into working for them under poor conditions and wage, by pushing their planets close to the sun, thus essentially sending them into uninhabitable inferno. It's in his early employment in which he meets the leader of the company, Neil, a 4'2" man who becomes close to Frylock when offered with the chance of physical growth. He acts as a friend to Frylock, however only in order to steal Frylock's source of power, the Jewel of Ida Hercules affixed to his back. Frylock manages to meet his promise of making Neil taller by creating a clone of him out of the fused DNA of a giraffe and former NBA player Shawn Kemp. When created, the clone of Neil ends up betraying the original Neil and taking over business operations, eventually firing Neil's trusty assistant Elmer, who had been developing living, breathing plant creatures to run the company. Back at Carl's residence, these plants had ended up attacking Meatward and Master Shake, who had been staying in Carl's backyard temporarily. The plants in masses cover the entirety of South New Jersey by the end of the film, as angered by his unemployment, Elmer seeks domination by using his plants to destroy everything in sight. It's at this point where Frylock turns his back from the company, and after years of separation, reunites with his fellow Aqua Teens and his former neighbour Carl in order to save the dormant city. Frylock teams up with Neil and his clone counterpart to use a spaceship to enter space and block the sun from providing Earth with light by physically moving the moon in front of it, and meanwhile Shake, Meatward and Carl stay on their home planet to fight off the plant creatures in an epic Mad Max style fashion. Funnily enough, Master Shake is actually seen fighting rather than backing away like in common ATHF episodes. In the end, the Aqua Teens and Carl defeat Elmer and his plant minions with the aid of the Fraptaculans and Chipangaloids, but due to the blockage of sun radiation, New Jersey enters permanent nighttime, with the freezing conditions completely freezing Carl and Meatward. But not Master Shake, as he's a milkshake for crying out loud. When Frylock and both Neils get back to New Jersey, the two Neils are ruthlessly attacked by the Fraptaculans and Chipangaloids, and are beheaded and disfigured in a classic gory and bloody Aqua Teen Hunger Force style, and for an ending that was personally completely unexpected despite it being bound to happen at some point in the series. The Aqua Teens, due to the low food supply, are eaten by the two alien races. Master Shake is literally completely drained by Markula, a recurring vampire back character in the series. And in the post-credits scene, Shake himself turns into a vampire and teases a sequel. Deathfighter, maybe? The plot of this movie is actually really good, but it remains apparent throughout the 76-minute film that the main purpose is fan service. Ignignok literally says during the beginning of the film that the movie was a cash grab. Fan service is arguably the most important aspect of the movie, as after 7 years of cancellation, fans are finally given new material. The opening 2 minutes of the movie, Master Shake's grand fight scene, mirror the iconic episode of the final season, the last one forever and ever, for real this time. We f***ing mean it. With Master Shake delivering the influential quote, Aqua Teen Forever, while next to Meatwad. Each Aqua Teen even possesses a tattoo of the same phrase. There is an amazing sense of hope for the series. And despite the wave of new cast, familiar faces can be seen throughout the movie. Markula interacts with Carl, and Willie Nelson is seen doing construction work on the Aqua Teen streets. Though vastly different characters, the duo of Neil and Elmer potentially served as a callback to Dr. Weird and Steve, voice acted by the great and unfortunately deceased C. Martin Croker. The Mooninites luckily have a significant role within the film as well, not only engaging in a tense fight scene against Neil and Frylock on the moon, but also constantly breaking the fourth wall and interrupting the movie. This occasional tangent was a personal reminder of the 2007 Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, which barely managed to deliver its main story due to constant digression.
Maybe you need to lose some weight, Kyle! In the head region.
Overall, I think though as a general movie it wasn't necessarily an all-time great. Within the Aqua Teen Hunger Force universe, it is personally a spectacle to be remembered, with some great callbacks to the early days of the series nicely mixed with a breath of fresh air. Thanks for watching.